A couple issues there. Early, you get backed up, you're far away, headset goes out. There's some things there when it's real cold. We just got to be better as a collective group. There's not one person at fault. There's not one player at fault, one coach at fault. We just got to be better as a collective group. All shoulder the blame. That starts with me to make sure that everybody's communicating the way we need to.
Here's the bombshell that just dropped. Browns offensive coordinator Tommy Reese admitted in a press conference that the headset went out. Wrong plays sent in, communication falling apart, and now there's serious evidence this wasn't just some accident. While Shedeur Sanders is out there battling with a receiving core that honestly looks more like practice squad material, his own offensive coordinator is secretly interviewing for the Michigan job, and he can't even get the correct plays into his quarterback's helmet. But here's where this story takes a darker turn. The same week Shedeur's completion percentage becomes a national talking point, suddenly the headsets malfunction, the wristband has the wrong plays listed, and Tommy Reese is dodging questions like he's in witness protection. Something isn't adding up here, and we're about to break down exactly what's going on.
Oh, they asking him about him trying to skip town. Hold on.
Where does that stand?
Yeah, similar to...
Where does that stand?
Yeah, similar as you're working your progressions.
So, Tommy, your name has come up as a candidate for that Michigan job. Where does that stand?
Let me lay out the complete picture, because the deeper you dig into this situation, the worse it looks for Cleveland's front office. Shedeur Sanders walks into the press conference after the Chicago game, and reporters immediately hit him about his completion percentage. He's sitting about 20 points lower than his college numbers at Colorado. Everyone wants to know what's happening with the golden boy who dominated the college game. And Shedeur, being the pro he is, owns it. He talks about making adjustments, learning the NFL speed, improving every week, class act, all the way. But then Tommy Reese steps to the podium the next day, and we get a completely different story. This is where your radar should go off. First, let's break down what Reese actually admitted when asked about the operational breakdowns during the game. You know those moments where Shedeur looked lost at the line, where plays were coming in late, where the entire offense looked like they'd never practiced together? Tommy tries to wave it off as weather problems. Headset goes out, there's some things there when it's real cold. Wait, hold on. The headset goes out in an NFL game in 2024? We've got technology that can track every player's heartbeat and review plays from 17 different angles, but we can't keep a quarterback's headset working when it's cold outside? Come on, this is the same league that plays December and January games in Green Bay, Buffalo, and Minnesota every single season. Cold weather headset issues? That's the explanation we're supposed to accept? But it gets even more interesting. Reese then says, and I'm quoting directly here, "We just gotta be better as a collective group. There's not one person at fault. There's not one player at fault, one coach at fault." So now it's suddenly a collective problem? But when Shedeur's completion percentage is down, when the offense can't score, when drives keep stalling out, that's all on the rookie quarterback, right? That's exactly what the media has been hammering for weeks. But when it comes to the wrong plays getting called and sent to the field, suddenly it's everybody's fault and nobody's fault at the same time.
Not solely on the quarterback. There's other areas.
I mean, yeah, we got a wide receiver core that should be working at Home Depot. He's throwing to some dudes that should be taking your orders at the local Starbucks right now. The dudes that are blocking on the offensive line should be working at the local warehouse putting together couches and table frames. What are we talking about?
Let me break down what's actually happening behind the scenes, because this part should infuriate every Shedeur Sanders fan. Tommy Reese stands there talking about completion percentages like the entire responsibility falls on the quarterback. He says the completion percentage is also not solely on the quarterback. Okay, fair enough, but then what does he say immediately after? He basically admits that Shedeur is throwing to dudes who should be working at Home Depot and Starbucks. I'm not exaggerating, that's literally in the transcript. The offensive line should be working at the local warehouse putting together couches and table frames. Jerry Jeudy can't catch a cold. These are the guys Shedeur is somehow supposed to elevate and make productive. Think about what Shedeur had at Colorado. He had Travis Hunter, one of the most dominant two-way players in college football history. He had a supporting cast that showed up and made plays. He had protection when he needed it. He had an offense specifically designed around his skill set and strengths. And what does Cleveland give him? A receiving core that drops catchable passes, an offensive line that collapses on every other play, and an offensive coordinator who's literally taking interviews for other jobs while his rookie quarterback is drowning. Because, oh yeah, we haven't even gotten to the most revealing part yet. Right in the middle of the press conference, a reporter asks Tommy Reese point blank, "Your name has come up as a candidate for that Michigan job. Where does that stand?" Watch how he answers. "Yeah, similar to I said, like I'm here and I'm focused on this job and focused on the improvement of our players."
That's not a denial. That's not, "I'm not interviewing." That's not, "I'm 100% committed to Cleveland." That's politician speak for, "I'm trying to get out of here, but I can't say it publicly yet." The reporter follows up, "But have you been contacted by Michigan right now?" And Tommy literally responds, "I don't want to get into a lot of that conversation." Excuse me? Your rookie quarterback is fighting for his NFL career? Your offense is ranked near the bottom of the league? You just admitted to operational failures and communication breakdowns, and you're out here entertaining calls about the Michigan job? Let me tell you what this looks like from the outside looking in. This looks like a coach who's already mentally checked out. This looks like a coordinator who sees the ship sinking and he's searching for a lifeboat. This looks like someone who doesn't believe in the system he's running or the players he's supposed to be developing. And here's the part nobody in the mainstream media is talking about. If Tommy Reese is already mentally preparing for his next opportunity, how much effort do you honestly think he's putting into developing Shedeur? How much does he really care about getting the plays in correctly? How invested is he in making sure this offense actually succeeds? I'll tell you, not much. Because if you truly cared, those headsets wouldn't be malfunctioning. The wristband would have the correct plays listed. The communication would be crystal clear. The offense would look prepared and professional. But instead, what are we seeing? We're seeing a talented rookie quarterback being set up to fail by an organization that doesn't have a functional plan. Now, let's talk about the deeper issue at play here, and this is where things get really controversial. Mary Kay, one of the reporters at the press conference, asks about Shedeur pressing when the team falls behind. Notice how she frames it. He's trying to get back in the game. But is he really? Or is he trying to overcome the absolutely terrible situation he's been placed in? Reese talks about finding completions and not trying to get it all back in one play. He mentions Kevin O'Connell coaching J.J. McCarthy the same way in Minnesota. But here's the critical difference. J.J. McCarthy has an offensive coordinator who's actually committed to being there long-term. J.J. McCarthy has a team that's genuinely building around him as their future. J.J. McCarthy isn't dealing with headset malfunctions and wrong plays mysteriously showing up on his wristband. Shedeur is out here playing hero ball because he has no other choice. When your receivers can't get separation, when your offensive line can't protect for more than 2 seconds, when your coordinator is daydreaming about Ann Arbor, what alternative do you have? You either try to make something happen yourself, or you accept losing. And Shedeur Sanders didn't come from Coach Prime's program to accept losing. But here's what really bothers me about this entire situation, and Shedeur fans, I need you to pay close attention to this part. Tommy Reese stands at that podium and talks about positive reinforcement and finding the areas we need to improve. He talks about explosive plays and good throws and extending plays. He gives Shedeur just enough credit to sound supportive and reasonable. But then when things go wrong, collective group, nobody's fault, weather issues. That's textbook manipulation. That's a coach covering himself while simultaneously setting up his quarterback to absorb the blame when things inevitably fall apart. Because here's exactly what's going to happen. If Cleveland's offense continues to struggle, and let's be realistic, it probably will with this supporting cast, who's going to catch all the heat? Is it going to be Tommy Reese, who's already got one foot out the door heading to Michigan? Is it going to be the front office that assembled this roster? Nope.
It's going to be Shedeur Sanders, the rookie quarterback who was supposed to save the franchise. And that's the agenda. That's what's being exposed in real time. They're positioning Shedeur to be the scapegoat while everyone else escapes accountability. But you know what? I'm not buying it. And if you've been paying real attention, actually watching the games and not just reading the headlines, you shouldn't buy it either. Let's examine what Shedeur has actually accomplished with the absolute garbage situation he's been handed. Reese himself admits that have been explosive plays. The throw to IB down the middle of the field, perfect timing. The post route against zero coverage, on time, accurate, delivered while getting hit. Evading pressure and extending plays, he's doing it consistently every single week. Reese even says Shedeur's accuracy is one of his greatest strengths. So, if Shedeur is accurate, if he's making explosive plays, if he's evading pressure and extending plays consistently, why exactly is his completion percentage down? Could it be the receivers who can't catch? Could it be the offensive line that can't sustain blocks? Could it be the play calling from a coordinator who's mentally already moved to Ann Arbor? Could it be the communication breakdowns, wrong plays, and convenient headset malfunctions? Nah, couldn't possibly be any of that. Must be the rookie quarterback's fault, right? Wrong. Here's what I believe is really happening, and call me a conspiracy theorist if you want, but these pieces fit together too perfectly to ignore. Cleveland knew exactly what they were getting when they drafted Shedeur. They knew the massive media attention that would follow him. They knew the sky-high expectations from day one. But did they actually build an offense ready to support a franchise quarterback? Did they give him legitimate weapons to work with? Did they invest in solid protection? No, they handed him spare parts and told him to make it work. And when he couldn't turn water into wine, when he couldn't magically make Jerry Jeudy remember to catch or make the offensive line remember to block, the narrative immediately shifted to the rookie struggling. Meanwhile, Tommy Reese is interviewing for other positions, admitting to operational failures and deflecting blame in every direction except his own. But here's the beautiful thing about Shedeur Sanders. He doesn't need their approval. He doesn't need Tommy Reese to believe in him. He doesn't need the media to give him credit. Because Shedeur Sanders came from Colorado, where he faced more pressure, more scrutiny, and more criticism than most NFL rookies will ever experience. He played behind a struggling offensive line there too. He dealt with dropped passes there too. He dealt with critics saying he'd never make it there too. And what did he do? He balled out. He proved every doubter wrong. He showed up every single week and carried that team on his back.
A couple issues there. Early, you get backed up, you're far away, headset goes out. There's some things there when it's real cold. We just got to be better as a collective group. There's not one person at fault. There's not one player at fault, one coach at fault. We just got to be better as a collective group. All shoulder the blame. That starts with me to make sure that everybody's communicating the way we need to.
And you want to know the craziest part? When Tommy Reese leaves for Michigan, and make no mistake, he will leave, Shedeur is still going to be in Cleveland. He's going to get a new offensive coordinator, he'll hopefully get better weapons around him, and when he starts putting up serious numbers, when he starts winning games and leading this franchise forward, everyone's going to act shocked. Oh wow, Shedeur finally figured it out. He made the adjustment. Nah, Shedeur's been ready from day one. It's the organization that wasn't ready for him. So let me ask you this, and I want you to really think about your answer. Who actually benefits from Shedeur struggling? Who benefits from the narrative that he can't handle the NFL level? It's not Shedeur, it's not Cleveland, it's definitely not the fans. It's people like Tommy Reese who can deflect from their own failures by pointing at the quarterback. It's the front office that can justify their terrible roster construction by saying even a first-round PB couldn't fix this mess. It's the media who get clicks and views from hot takes about Coach Prime's son washing out of the league. But we're not going to let that false narrative win because we can see what's actually happening in real time. They tried to sabotage him with wrong plays and headset malfunctions. They surrounded him with receivers who belong on practice squads. They gave him an offensive coordinator who's already planning his exit strategy. They threw him into the fire and fully expected him to burn. But Shedeur Sanders doesn't burn.
he rises. And when all this smoke finally clears, when Tommy Reese is gone and the truth finally comes out about what really happened in Cleveland this season, Shedeur is going to be standing tall while everyone else is scrambling for excuses. So, now I'm turning this over to you. Do you think Tommy Reese sabotaged Shedeur on purpose, or is this just total incompetence from top to bottom? Drop your thoughts in the comments because this conversation is just getting started. And if you think Shedeur is being done dirty, let me know because we need to keep this energy going and keep exposing what's really happening behind the scenes. Here's another question worth debating. Should Shedeur demand a trade if this situation continues? Should he pull the Eli Manning and refuse to play for a team that's clearly not invested in his success? Or should he stay and prove everyone wrong the hard way? That's a legitimate debate, and I want to hear both sides in the comments section. And one more thing, when Tommy Reese officially leaves for Michigan and this all comes out in the open, when we find out just how checked out he really was during this season, how do you think the media is going to spin it? Are they going to apologize to Shedeur for the slander? Are they going to admit they were wrong about him? Or are they just going to move on to the next controversy and pretend like they weren't part of the problem? Look, at the end of the day, this story is bigger than just one press conference, one game, or even one season. This is about a young man's career being put in serious jeopardy by people who don't have his best interests at heart. This is about an organization that's more worried about protecting themselves than developing their franchise quarterback. This is about a system that's designed to shield everyone except the player who actually needs protection the most. But if there's one thing we know for certain about Shedeur Sanders, it's this. He's built for moments exactly like this. He's built for adversity. He's built to overcome the doubters, the haters, and yes, even the saboteurs. Tommy Reese can take his headset malfunctions, his wrong plays, and his Michigan dreams somewhere else. Jerry Jeudy can keep dropping passes.
None of it matters in the long run, because when it's all said and done, Shedeur is going to be the one still standing. And we're going to be right here watching him prove every single person wrong. If you made it this far, you're part of the real ones who actually care about the truth instead of just the headlines. Make sure you smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next video where we continue exposing what's really happening in the NFL. Drop a like if you think Shedeur is being done dirty, and share this with anyone who needs to know what's really going on behind the scenes. This is bigger than football. This is about respect. This is about accountability. This is about making sure the real story gets told, not the sanitized corporate version. And we're just getting started.